Fast snacks, fast food, fast reviews. Snack Masters Inc., a podcast served to you in 30 minutes or less.
Snack Masters Incorporated. Snack Masters. Snack Masters. You'll be snacking with the Snack Masters. Snack Masters. Snack Masters. Snack Masters.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Snack Masters Incorporated. I'm Dooner, here with Peeps, sexiest man alive. It's MSG. MSG, how are ya?
Hey man, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing nice. We got a big rainstorm over here on the northeast, a little nor'easter rolling through.
Pretty nasty out. Good day to be inside.
Well, man, if you've been in the grocery store or the convenience store recently, you've seen the shelves stocked with Easter candy.
Yeah, it's that time of the year, man.
It sure is. What is your opinion of Easter candy?
Well, it's weird for me. I don't have a lot of, childhood memories growing up. I don't know why. I was thinking about it this morning, and we just really didn't do a lot for Easter. We do a lot more for our kids now, but, basically what I see is it's usually just kind of repackaged regular candy. They just make pastel colors and pink and purple and light yellow M&Ms, stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of original Easter candies. You got the big chocolate bunnies and stuff, but other than that, it's just kind of the same stuff that you'd normally get, just different color.
Yeah, a lot of repackaging goes on with the different Easter brands. I was actually surprised when we were setting up the next couple of shows where we're going to cover Easter candy. Some of the evolution that had evolved. One of the things we're going to do today is Peeps. I mean, I knew there were different colors of Peeps. There was yellow and lavender and blue and white. But I notice now that there's several different flavors of Peeps and variants of Peeps and ways that they're presenting them now.
Yeah, I went through and I knew that Peeps was kind of one of our projects. It is one of the, standard Easter candy. If I could think of any candy that I associate with Easter, it'd be Peeps. And I was pretty surprised to see what they offer now. Yeah.
How much do you know about the history of Easter baskets and Easter?
Actually very little, because like I said, it hasn't really been part of my life growing up.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
I always kind of wondered where the giving of candy and making baskets and stuff came from.
Yeah, wonder no more. I've always been curious too, so I looked up a little bit the Easter, why do we give each other Easter baskets for Easter? Especially me, when I was a kid, I went to CCD, Catholic school. All holidays have kind of been commercialized, but why Easter baskets? Why candy? Well, although Easter baskets are linked with Easter Sunday, like many Christian holidays, they have pagan roots. To signal the spring equinox, ancient farmers would gift baskets of crops as blessings to signal that the long, hard winter was over. The practice was passed through Middle Eastern cultures, such as the Hebrews, Arabs, Assyrians, and Babylonians. A commonality between all of these cultures is that when Easter falls is based upon the first full moon of the spring equinox. Easter falls on the Sunday after that. And that's a question I always had as a kid. If Easter is celebrating the resurrection of Christ, why would the day always change? Wouldn't it be consistent like Christmas, right? Because when Christ would rise, would that be a set date?
Yeah, it always seemed kind of random to me. I knew it had something to do with Passover and this and that. We celebrate Easter in the traditional manner and all that stuff. I never really knew kind of the rhyme or reason. I think I've looked it up a couple times as far as when it is. I was actually born on Easter, and oddly enough, my birthday falls on Easter every 11 years.
Same here. I'm late March, so I often get hit with having my birthday either on Easter or the weekend that Easter falls upon. And like any kid, if your family celebrates Easter and your birthday falls on there, you kind of get a little shafted on the gifts. You get like 1.5 times as many, gifts as you really would during Easter, because your parents' money is tied up because I had a sibling, so getting gifts for the other sibling and all of that kind of stuff. But what dictates this holiday is the moon, and the moon was assigned to farmers to plant the first seeds of the season. The Easter basket, it entered into Christian culture due to Lent. And I'm sure you're familiar with Lent, right? It's the 40 days leading up to Easter where a lot of Christians abstain from a number of different foods and treats. It's a sacrifice to symbolize Jesus Christ's 40 days in the desert.
Yeah, you can look it up.
The end of Lent was celebrated with a great feast, and most feasts were often brought to priests in large baskets. So that's where the baskets are derived from.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention. There is a herd of killer rabbits headed this way, and we desperately need your help.
But how the Easter Bunny came into here and how it turned into sort of more of a commercialized and comical and cartoony type of a holiday was that the Easter Bunny was originally a symbol of the Germans and was brought to the Americas in the 18th centuries when German immigrants were coming to the United States.
So the marshmallow lobbyists, the cream egg group, brought their influence at some point.
Well, you know, a lot of that stuff came later. The industry behind it and building companies behind all of this stuff didn't really happen until the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it's increased throughout the years. In fact, some quick facts about Easter. $2.26 billion worth of Easter candy is bought per year. It's the second most important candy-consuming holiday for retailers, behind Halloween, of course. 87% of parents will buy or make Easter baskets for their kids, and 81% will steal candy from them. The other 19% are filthy liars, MSG.
Yeah, I'll cop to it. I steal.
So you weren't raised in like a Christian family, but you guys, because you're American, you did the whole Easter basket thing?
No, actually the opposite. I was raised in a Christian family, and we were of the 13%. I don't know why. I somehow kind of recall maybe painting some Easter eggs or something like that, but we never really did the basket thing. I don't. My wife's always done it for our kids, and I was always kind of like, what are you doing? You know, you just spent $50 on crap, and I don't get it.
Well, MSG, sometimes kids they enjoy the holiday spirit and they get into those kind of things. Plus, they also love candy.
Well, yeah, I did too. I just never got any for Easter. I mean, I would have taken it if it was offered, but yeah, I just never did. We didn't go to Easter egg hunts or anything like that. I mean, it's kind of a new thing that came on when I had kids. So
yeah, we always did the Easter basket thing, so I'm very familiar with it. It's a tradition that I've carried on with my family and with my kids. I haven't always been the biggest fan of different Easter candies. Maybe some of these reviews coming up will change it, as I noticed there's several different new products or variants on not just Peeps, but jelly beans and chocolates and things, which we'll get to. I have a question for you. Here's an interesting fact from the Guinness Book of World Records. Do you know how large the largest Easter egg ever was?
Like the actual egg? Like an ostrich egg, or?
Just as I suspected. Hollow!
I mean, chocolate one. I'm sorry.
It wasn't clear, but I'm thinking maybe it's a big plastic thing filled with candy, as those are usually what Easter eggs are, not like a literal egg from a bird, because it was from a bird. When I tell you this, it would have to be from like a pterodactyl.
Oh, I couldn't even ballpark it. Maybe a couple feet, 3, 10, 15 feet tall. I don't know.
You're not even half as close. It was 34 feet tall and weighed almost as much as you at 1,600 pounds.
Ouch.
I am not nice.
That's one big egg.
Yeah, who did that and why?
Who made the biggest egg? You know, it doesn't say. I don't have any information on that. So we'll edit that part out since I don't have the info.
Sorry,
no, it's okay. It's okay, man. That's where you're
trying to further it.
Stuff. Well, hey.
Well, that's interesting. So this big giant plastic candy-filled egg, 1,600 pounds worth.
Yeah, that had to be some sight, and that's the kind of thing that if it cracked open, it could crush children in an avalanche of jelly beans and whatever else they decide to put in that thing. Since you're Peeps' sexiest man alive, you might be interested in some Peep facts, because Peeps are what we're reviewing today.
It's sure to make your day when Easter time is heading your way. Marshmallow, not just yellow. It's just not Easter without those crazy Peeps.
I was curious because you always see Peeps in stores, and they're so ubiquitous to the holiday, and I've never liked Peeps, but if it's Easter season, you're usually going to end up with at least some Peeps in front of your mouth. But it turns out Peeps are really popular. There's a reason you see them everywhere. Each Easter season, Americans buy more than 700 million Peeps, making them the most popular non-chocolate Easter candy around. In fact, as many as 5 million Peeps are made each day in preparation for Easter, which is easy to do now, but in 1953, it wasn't so much. It was an involved process, and it took, get this, 27 hours to make one marshmallow Peep in the 1950s.
What?
Yeah, imagine that's a confectionery process. I don't know if that means it was in a churn, spinning up the marshmallow and all that stuff to get the fluffiness of the Peep.
Yeah, it seems like I could make one of... Yeah, that's... Okay. It's surprising that it would take that long to make one Peep. I imagine they had several people making several at a time, but...
Well, yeah, and as they've increased in popularity, the technology's gotten better in making Peeps, and now, today, it only takes 6 minutes to make one Peep, which actually still seems kind of long to me, but I guess I don't really have a reference point for how long other candy takes to make, right?
Yeah, that, again, I maybe I could look up the process of making them, but that does seem like a long time to make such a disappointing product.
Well, this one's pretty obvious. The most popular Peeps. Yellow Peeps are the most popular, followed by pink, lavender, blue, and white. And that seems to kind of co-align when I think these different colors were introduced. So why don't we get into that? You got some Peeps, right?
I did. I tried to go with something different. Everybody knows what Peeps taste like. I think it's one of those love-hate things. I imagine it's mostly kids that eat these. Again, I wanted, just because, we're a review show and stuff, I wanted to get something that was a little bit off the grid. So, yeah, I picked up a couple different kinds here. Surprised by some of the things I saw, and yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's start with the most popular one. Let's start with the yellow so we can get a baseline for all these other Peep flavors to follow. And the macros on here, we got a yellow box of Peeps. They come in sizes, they're usually rows of 5 chicks, I believe. I didn't actually count this before I started digging into these things, but I think it's rows of 5s. The box I have is 2 rows of 5 yellow ones. You get 5 chicks per serving. Yeah, that would make sense. There's 5 chicks per serving, 2 servings per container, so 1 sleeve of chicks is the serving. 140 calories, 34 grams of sugar. They are sugar, corn syrup, gelatin, and then some yellow dye and some preservatives. So relatively simple ingredients. They're not non-GMO or anything to that effect. They look to be the same, and I don't think that they have changed much since I was a kid, right? But it does say they were partially produced with genetic engineering. Like I said, that's always good when they're bringing science into the game.
Yeah.
You got a yellow Peep? I'm gonna dig into one over here. It's been, oh geez, how long has it been since you've had a Peep?
It's been a few years. It's one of those things that I kind of forget how my experience with them, so I'll try them again, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I get kind of the same impression each time, and it takes me a few years to forget.
Yeah, same here. You need a little bit of like Peep amnesia to wash over you, so you think it's a good idea when you see them. I never buy them. They're usually like in a break room, or a kid gets them and you take one from him and you take a bite or two and you're like, why did I even bother? These are the same. They haven't really improved. That is a good thing though if you do like Peeps, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I honestly, Dooner, I haven't talked to anybody who does. My kids will pound them, but I've never met an adult who can't wait to get a Peep in their mouth.
Well, I got a yellow. I can't wait because I got a yellow Peep right here. I'm going to have this little ducky swim right into my mouth. I'm going to give it a try. There's not going to be any crunch factor here, hopefully, because it's a marshmallow. That would mean my Peeps are probably from Easters of years past. But let me give this a go. Well, the first thing you get hit with is a blast of sugar, and then I just squeeze down. The marshmallow starts like squeezing and contracting and moving in and out within your mouth, right? Mm-hmm. They're really sweet. Like if you've had a regular marshmallow, this is they're not as thick as like your standard puff marshmallow that you'd buy at the grocery store to make s'mores with or something. They're a little bit more airy, and of course they have that yellow sugar coating all over them. The sugar's really grainy, and I didn't forget how much I dislike Peeps before I put this Peep in my mouth, and it hasn't changed my mind. There's something I wouldn't buy. I'm not going to eat all of these, and I guess the merit, I'll give it a 3 just based on the merit that, I don't know. I like that they signal that it's Easter time. There's a certain cultural resonance with these things that not all snack foods have. I like that the packaging hasn't changed and that their general look and ingredients haven't changed. So they got all that stuff going for them. Unfortunately, they're just not for me. What's your opinion, and what kind of score would you give Peeps?
While you're eating your yellow Peep, I was simultaneously eating a yellow Peep, and it just so happened that it was the one available because I bought this thing called a Peeps Rainbow Pop. And basically it's just a package of Peeps that's been jammed onto a a stick. It's one of those kind of cardboard sort of sticks, and I bought it because I'd never seen it before, and it just struck me the sad state that these Peeps were in. They just okay. So the stick I want to say is about 10 inches long, and they're all crammed onto the top, like 4 inches of Peep. They had plenty of stick to work with here, and they could have spread them out and made them look presentable, but these are just crammed onto there. I'm hoping people get a chance to see the picture on our Instagram page, but it's like a human centipede sort of thing of Peeps, where they're just mangled and look really pathetic and sad. I mean, they have these beaks are smashed into the back end of the other one, and their eyes are just hollow and pathetic looking. The first one's eye is missing, and it just looks like they've been, run over or something. And that's how they came in the package. So it's definitely not beautiful. And I suppose it's great if you don't want to get some of the glittery sugar on your fingers, or you want to avoid the stickiness. But like I said, I was just drawn to the pathetic display. But the back end of it, the first bite was the yellow Peep, and I'm in the same camp. I'd give these, a 2. It's just one of those things. Like I said, I don't forget how horrible they are, but I'm struck by that they're always around. Somebody keeps buying these. Somebody likes them. I don't get it. Why? Yeah,
it's one of these things that nobody seems to like, yet they're always there and they're ubiquitous. I think it's just everyone assumes, and like people buying, like grandparents buying candy for kids, are like, oh, everyone loves Peeps and it's Easter. It's just so ingrained in the fabric of Easter that it's hard to move away from. I'm looking at this lollipop you got. Are each one of these Peeps on here the size of a standard Peep?
Yeah, it's just a regular Peep. I took a bite to make sure, and they're all the same flavor. I mean, there's no variety on there or anything. But yeah, it's a standard regular Peep that they just somebody savagely skewered with a stick. It's really upsetting.
Your Peep kebab is yellow Peep, green Peep, pink Peep, and blue Peep. They're all the same flavor though, right? There's not a difference. It's just coloring.
Yeah, there's nothing discernible about either one. No, I mean, none of them. They're just all gross equally.
I imagine that they all would. So I didn't get any of the other colored Peeps because that would be kind of pointless, but I did notice they had some new flavors. And the second one I'm going to do here is Peeps Cotton Candy. I had never seen these particular ones before. I'm not sure exactly what to expect. The regular Peep, again, tastes like just sugar and marshmallow. These ones say express your Peepsonality. They are 140 calories, 32 grams of sugar, so 2 grams of sugar less than the regular ones. They are pink with blue speckles on them. Other than that, they look exactly like your regular Peep. They have the same consistency, but let me give it a bite to see if this cotton candy flavor adds anything to the mix. You know what? This does work better. And you know why? Because when you put the cotton candy flavor on here, the consistency of the Peep is actually a lot like cotton candy. It's that sort of sticky mouth feel. It's not as fibrous as, cotton candy at the fair would be, but I could definitely see getting these over the regular Peeps. Something about adding that cotton candy flavor, it doesn't make my mind immediately go, if I was going to eat this, I'd rather just eat a regular marshmallow. I was like, yeah, you're right. This is a bit like cotton candy. Again, I don't know if I would get them again unless it was Easter, but these are at least a solid 2 points better than your standard Peep. Maybe I'll even give these a 5 out of 10. I think, if you're going to give Peeps a second chance, you get the amnesia again, and you're going to spend money on a box. I recommend going with the cotton candy over the traditional yellow ones.
Well, I picked up, I'd never seen these before either. These are called Peep Delights, and I think they're marketed more for an adult sort of palate. They're a package of 3. I can't remember how much they cost. I want to say maybe $1.50, but it's interesting because these have been treated with a lot more respect than the Peeps on a stick. They're each individually kind of cradled in this plastic packaging, so their shape has been kept. And these are coconut flavored, and it says they've been dipped in decadent dark chocolate. So it's a regular Peep, but then the bottom part of it looks like it's kind of got an inner tube sort of around it. It's dipped in chocolate, and I didn't know what to expect just because I'm so disappointed by Peeps. But I took a bite of these while you were talking, and man, I got to tell you, these are actually pretty freaking good. The chocolate is good. It's not overpowering. It's a thin layer and it's across the bottom, but the coconut flavoring, you can smell it. It's a really pleasant, sweet coconut smell. And the sugar is even a different consistency. It's more fine sugar, like it's been kind of sprayed on there rather than the big chunky glittery, thick stuff that the regular Peeps are dipped in. Man, this is a really nice pairing. If you get a whole mouthful and you get, some of the chocolate and some of the coconut together, this is actually really, really good. I'm not a huge fan of marshmallows themselves, but man, I'm digging this. I'm going to say these are probably, probably a 7. I'm actually really impressed. They had blueberry flavored or coconut flavored, which to me was an odd choice of if I was going to make 2, but I'm going to get the rest of these. These are pretty good.
Yeah, maybe these new Peep flavors that they're introducing, they allow the Peep company a little bit more leeway, because if you change the traditional yellow ones, you run the risk of alienating the people who love Peeps. I'm sure that the people who do like them, there's a very strong association and a very strong feeling with them, even if it's sort of repugnant or repellent to us. And I, too, noticed these Peeps Delights. I didn't get the same flavor as you. I found the strawberry-flavored marshmallow dipped in a decadent cream-flavored fudge. Mine is pink color with almost like the cotton candy, the same pink color, but instead of blue speckles, it's got red speckles on it. And on the bottom, it's got a layer of what looks like white chocolate. It's an inner tube, like you said. It's swimming on top of that little layer of fudge. The macros on here, you get 3 chicks per serving, 150 calories per, 30 grams of sugar, so a little less sugar than the other ones. They keep going down for me, but the calories went up by 10. It says express your peepsonality. I haven't tried these yet. I'm going to give it a shot. Well, on first notice, these aren't as puffy as your traditional yellow Peeps. So you got a little bit more chew factor going on. So it doesn't just sort of like squish in your mouth as you bite each time. It's still chewy like that. It's still a marshmallow base, but it has that fudge underneath, kind of holding the whole thing together. It's very sweet. It's very sugary. But again, similar to how I like the cotton candy one, because I just find the regular Peep flavor so boring. I'm with you on these. I wouldn't give these a 7 or anything. I would put these with the cotton candy. They're a 5 out of 10. I'll probably eat these, but I wouldn't get them again. Maybe the cotton candy or these ones I would consider next Easter if the kids really end up liking Peeps. I mean, obviously if they like yellow Peeps, I would get them those ones too. But I like that Peeps is taking some risks and changing things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we get out of Peeps, the one last thing, I just got like a little bonus one because I saw these as an impulse buy as I was walking out of the store. And they're yet another flavor of Oreos. They're the limited edition Oreo Peeps with marshmallow Peeps flavored cream. The inside of the Oreo is a traditional chocolate cookie on top with a Peep logo on there instead of it saying Oreo. And the inside is not yellow, it's purple. These are 2 cookies per serving, 140 calories, 6 grams of fat, 13 grams of sugar. Because I have such Peep flavor on my mouth, I'm going to actually try the frosting first just to see where that lies in the Peep lexicon of flavors. Weak. It doesn't taste like, have you had these ones? It doesn't taste like, the frosting doesn't taste like Peeps. It basically tastes just like regular Oreo frosting. It's just purple.
I was going to say, it can't be that much of a departure. Those Oreo standard flavor probably isn't much different than marshmallow, and I just don't see it as necessary to make a Peep flavored Oreo.
Yeah, these aren't necessarily, I mean, if you like regular Oreos, you're going to like these. Mm-hmm. I think Oreos are an okay, so these are about like a 6 out of 10, like I would rate a regular Oreo. That's where this is. I mean, I would guess you would get this if your kids really like Peeps or you want something festive for the holidays. But yeah, the addition of this Peep cream, it's a little lame because it doesn't bring forth any. Maybe they could have put like a little marshmallow-ish in there or something just to bring forth the peepiness, but instead it just seems like a rebranding for marketing purposes. We're Snackmasters Inc. That's INC, not INK. You can find this episode as well as all of our old ones at snackmastersinc.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and everywhere podcasts are heard around the world. We're on Instagram at Snackmasters Inc. There we have all of our food photos, mini reviews, and videos. Speaking of videos, we have a YouTube channel at Snackmasters Inc. at Snackmasters Inc. on Twitter and snackmastersinc@gmail.com if you have any suggestions. One last test here on the Peeps. Now, one of the most fun things to do with Peeps, if you don't like them, is to microwave them. So, have you microwaved any of your Peeps? And if so, have you tried them since you've microwaved them?
Yeah, I did, but it was just a way to get rid of them because I didn't eat them afterwards. What we did was actually take 2 of them because I saw it on the internet or something. I put them on a plate and stuck toothpicks in the front. And as you heated them and it spun around and they can, transformed into these giant marshmallowy blobs, is actually like they were sword fighting. It was pretty funny.
Okay, I'm going to throw a few of mine in the microwave right now. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a Peep's tail. All right, let's see what goes on here. Oh yeah, he's inflating. Oh, that's getting really puffy right now. We might not have to go the full 30 here. Let's stop this. Woo! But none of this matters if it doesn't taste good. Oh, look how sticky that is. Ugh, I can't even get it up. Look, it's like spaghetti or cotton candy. All right, I managed to get a forkful. Oh. Holy God. That was really sticky. Okay, I noticed a couple things when I was conducting my own experiment. First of all, it seems like the best way, at least in my microwave, to cook these, you don't really want to go over 10 seconds. They really start to puff up very, very fast. And what I learned here is that if you let it go beyond the peak of its puffiness, then the insides start to burn. And when that happens, the second it cools, and they cool really quick, it turns into a hard meringue-ish type substance that you could chip away at. And it's just a very sugary flavor. And if you go like a full minute, it actually starts to burn and brown. But if you keep it under 10 seconds, you can actually make it so it starts to form a harder exterior when it cools down, but the inside is still kind of chewy.
So you're doing this and then eating them? That's the...
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Because
for science, I got to figure out what they taste like.
Gross, that's why.
Well, maybe they taste better heated. Hamburger tastes better cooked than raw. Maybe Peeps taste better cooked than raw.
Different strokes.
Did you manage to get any to explode? That's kind of what I was trying to do. And unfortunately, they don't. When they hit that sort of peak expansion, then they just start contracting as, I guess, the heat squeezes all the air out of them, and that's when they start burning.
No, I don't remember any of them exploding. That would have been cool.
So as far as Peeps go, we haven't been very kind to them. We didn't like them that much, but it seems like the newer ones seem like maybe they're worth trying if you want to give Peeps another go. Maybe avoid the yellow ones if you've never liked those, or just a traditional Peep. But the newer flavors, they bring a little bit more to the table. They might be worthwhile if you really feel the urge or the craving to have a Peep, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think these chocolate-dipped coconut ones are phenomenal.
All right, MSG. Let's get the cluck out of here. Snackmaster Jr.! Bring us our Peeps! Alright, we have the cotton candy Peep here, and we have the strawberry Peep Delight. They're sugary and chewy, right? What tastes better, that or the marshmallows in Lucky Charms?
This.
You like the Peep better than the marshmallow in Lucky Charms?
No, because you didn't say I can have Lucky Charms anymore.
Well, because you eat all the marshmallows out of it, and then you leave the cereal behind. Here, try this one. This is the Peep Delight. You're gonna stick the rest of that Peep in your mouth first?
Uh-huh.
Now this one's strawberry flavor and has white chocolate on the bottom of it.
What is this?
That's its beak.
What is this?
Give the chocolate part a bite.
Chew!
Which one do you like better, the cotton candy Peep or that Peep Delight?
A cotton candy Peep.
What did you like better about it?
Because it has no chocolate on it.
If you had to ask the Easter Bunny for candy, would you ask the Easter Bunny for Peeps?
I guess I would.
I would have given you a yellow Peep, but I microwaved them all.
No! No, microwave them all.
I wanted to see what would happen to them.
No, don't do that!
It's too late for the yellow ones.
That's what I am doing.
Snackmasters Incorporated. Snackmasters. Snackmasters. You'll be snacking with the Snackmasters.